Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're not drawing, we are modifying markers. So I'm showing you here on screen some TouchNew and Touch 5 cheap markers. These are the cheap markers you're going to get off Wish or AliExpress or Banggood. They're basically the same thing as Ohuhu and all the other cheap alcohol markers. They're a bullet nib and a chisel nib. They do not have that coveted Copic brush nib. Now, there are other brands of brush nib markers that are slightly cheaper. There's PrismaColor, there's Winsor & Newton, there's that new Spectra AD or Spectra Add chart pack. But maybe these cheaper ones are all you can afford, and you want to turn a couple of them into proper Copics. Well, the first step, like I've done to this purple one here, is to replace one of the nibs with a brush nib. If you really wanted to go all out, you could also buy the Copic ink refills, and it would be a Copic, just not in a Copic casing. So this is what the Superbrush nib replacements from Copic look like. They come in a 3-pack. I ordered them off Amazon. They were Prime shipping as an add-on item, so I got to add them on when I bought something else. And so here I'm showing you that there's actually quite a bit of a tail to this nib that's inside the marker. So I'm going to use this somewhat broken French vermilion here to show you what the inside of these cheap markers look like. I'm surprised I had to tug on this because normally it just goes flying off when I pull the cap off. But you see that little divot in the ink cartridge? The tail of the nib has to rest in there. So you're going to want to pay attention to the length of the nib you're removing from a marker when you're doing this. So here I am going to modify the sand marker because I don't have anything like it in a brush. Now, going back to that purple one I already modified, you see, comparing it to its own cap, the TouchNew, the cap is long enough, but if I take the cap off of the Touch 5, it's not quite long enough. It would be squishing up. So if you don't have your cheap markers yet, keep that in mind. Some of the brands have a shorter cap. I would recommend the TouchNew between the TouchNew and Touch 5. I don't know what size Ohuhu is, I don't own it. So here we go, modifying the sand. So first you're going to take whichever nib you don't want out, should come out pretty easily, and take a look and see what the length of the tail is compared to the nib you're replacing. In this case it is longer. We need to compensate for that, so I'm going to cut off a bit of the original nib's tail and put it into the marker first, so it will be sandwiched between the cartridge and the new nib. So in it goes, and now we put in that new shiny Copic brush nib. Now, if your marker is not the juiciest, it might take a couple minutes for the ink to flow through. The purple one was super fast for me. This one took a minute. So let's talk numbers. I am Canadian, so I didn't research all of the converted numbers, forgive me. The 3-pack of Copic brush nibs cost me $7.70 Canadian, which works out to $2.57 per nib. I have heard that the Chameleon brush nibs are cheaper, so that might be an option you can look into. The 80-pack of TouchNew markers was $47 plus 16 shipping for a total of 63 Canadian, which works out to 79 cents each. When you add that together, that's $3.36 Canadian for this new modified marker, which is $2.58 US. For the US prices to compare, at Blix, a Copic Sketch is $5.24 and a Copic Chow is $3.59. That is a $1 savings on the Chow and a $3 savings on the Sketch. For Canadians, at Curry's, the Sketch is $7.64 and the Chow is $5.43, so you are saving nearly $2 on the Chow and around $4 on the sketch. So it is worth it to complement your collection, turn your favorites or the ones you just don't have in a brush marker into a brush marker. If you're going to turn your entire set into it, I don't know, maybe the Chameleons will make it worth it. It is going to be cheaper than a Copic, but if you're modifying your entire set, you might as well look into a slightly cheaper brush marker like the Winsor & Newton brush markers. Anyway, not sponsored by any of these companies. This was just an experiment I did, and it worked pretty well. So here you go. You can see the ink is almost all the way through the brush. Like I said, the purple one worked way faster. Almost. This is the third time I'm recording this voiceover, and previous 2 times I went over time. I don't know what I haven't said. But anyway, there we go. It's working. We now have a brush and bullet nib, nice and cheap TouchNew marker. So that's how you can turn your cheap markers into a Copic marker. Kinda. Thanks for watching. I will link my website, my Redbubble shop, and all of my social media down below. Check it out and say hi. If you liked this video, found it helpful, hit the like, consider subscribing to my channel for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!